Hello everyone, so I'm out on a tent camp. If you follow my channel, I've been very much carring it for quite a long time now. I bought a very small car and I converted it into a camper, and I went out of it, it failed, and I went out again in it, and all that time took like forever. And so I knew the next episode had to be a tent camp because it's been so long I've been gagging for it. So today's tent was an easy choice. I'm showing you this now because this is only the second time I'm going to use it. It's all camo. It's my first camo. I've had green ones, but this is the first camo tent, so I'm all camoed up today. Just in commemorating my time in the camo tent. So I'm showing you this because the last time I used it, the first time I used it, and also it was the last time I used it, it poured down with rain. So as soon as I got the tent up, I just dived inside, and I didn't really show you anything. So I thought I'd show you the pack size. It's quite long, isn't it? It's quite a long one, but for a two-man tent, it's no more fatter. And if I've not weighed it, but I've held it up against my other two mans, and it's definitely the lightest. Significantly you can feel, you're not you can feel it's a lot lighter. So you know, swings and roundabouts. So I thought I'd show you the pack size this time because, as I said last time, I couldn't. So that's today's choice. I'm gonna get it up quick because I'm here quite late. I've got less than an hour of sunset. So it's sunset in less than an hour, so I'm going to get cracking on that. Right, so just a quickie, for anyone that didn't see this go up last time. There she is. Total camo, man. Right, so it was really cheap. It was a really cheap tent. It was refer to the first time I put it up because because then I knew exactly how much it was because I just bought it. I think it was 50 quid for a very big two-man. That's pretty good. Unusual features though. You know, it's one of those Marmite things where you sort of like, I don't know, yes, no, I don't know. It's really big and spacious, and the first time I put it up, as I said, it peed down the whole time, and I was as dry as a bone inside. You know, I mean, it came down heavy because I put the tent up and went straight inside. Oddly enough, I'm gonna have to near enough to do that straight tonight, but only for light purposes, which is annoying because I come here for the outdoors. But anyway, so I put it up and dived pretty much straight inside, and it peed down heavy, really heavy, all night. And the only thing that was a semi-issue was that it was pooling on top of here, but this is a really big vent, goes all the way across there, so I just let one down. Is those funny little stalks inside that push them out, so I just let one down and it ran off, and that was not, so not really an issue. But the only thing about it, let's put it in shot, the only thing about it is that it kept me dry, but the inner is extremely close to the outer. There's barely any gap at all, so it's quite mentally exhausting to constantly think, oh, don't lean up against the side, and oh, pull everything away from the side, and you know, you can't just get in and do your business. That has to be on your mind all the time if you want to keep dry. And that would be the same in like if it was heavy heavy dew in the mornings and stuff, you know. So it's a bit mentally exhausting having to constantly think that all the time, but you know, it kept me dry, and it absolutely threw it down and it kept me dry. So that was kind of an issue. The second one is, yes, it's the vestibules. Anyone who watches the channel knows I like vestibules. I love them, and it's like a man who like men who look at women, and some like legs, some like butts, some like boobs. They look at women and think, oh, well, I look at a tent and I'm like, ooh, vestibule. Ooh. You know, look at the vestibules on that. Oh. So, sorry, that's me. Anyway, and the issue with this vestibule is that it's absolutely minute. You can't do anything in it, and you can't. You know, it's got one peg well, I've used two, but you've got one peg that pulls out. It's tension that makes the vestibule. You pull it out, and you can't pull it harder to make it bigger, because it sags a bit as well, which is a bit annoying. But you can't pull it harder, because if you pull it even harder, it just pulls in the poles. It just pulls them in together tighter, and then it's just saggier. So you have to pull it gently to where it comes to, and that's the biggest it's going to get. Because I'll pull it harder, I pull it out further, and then I'll have more vestibule. But no, because then the sides come in and it sags even more. Because bizarrely, not bizarrely, I don't think it's bizarrely actually, thinking about it, but the outer skin attaches straight to the legs, so they're not separate. There's the outer skin, and it pegs onto the inner. So again, you know, once you've done that, that's all you're going to get. You can't peg it out further or anything like that. You could, I guess, you could pull them out, do not use the hooks. Not how it's meant to be used though. So you can't, there's no adjustment made. You've only got these pegs here in the middle, one either side, to pull out the sides. There's not one at the back. That's weird. You come to the back, there's nothing down here, nothing at all. So it just has to dangle and do what it does. So it's a bit bizarre. It's the upside is, if you're in a hurry, this goes up in seconds. Even the first time I ever put it up, I didn't use instructions or anything. I just went bob bob bob, and now I'm even more au fait with it. I put it up in no time at all. There's no guy ropes, not even loops of guy ropes. I thought maybe they forgot them. No, there's not even loops of guy ropes. There's no guys at all. Now for me personally, that's brilliant, because I don't use guys. I don't go in any place. Look at it in here. There's no wind. I don't go in places like extreme places where the wind's blowing a gale and you need to hold it down. So I don't even use the guys 99% of the time on my tent anyway. So that's great for me. But it's an odd one, isn't it? To have no loops. Didn't give you guys. Didn't give you loops to put your own in. That's a bit bizarre, I think. The pegs were rubbish. I had to change the pegs. They were the thinnest pegs I've ever seen in my life. Normally I use any pegs that it comes with, but these were so thin, it was just, even I had to sort of go, really. So yeah, some odd little quirks about it, but on the whole, it is one I will use regularly. I think perhaps more summer, maybe. I think it's more of a winter tent from the fact that the inner, can you see it? Where am I pointing? The inner goes up really high. There's hardly any mesh in it. But you know, if you're going to be inside it a lot, like I was last time when it was pouring down rain, it gets straight. Cooking was impossible. I had to unzip the vestibule and just let rain come into the vestibule and pour into me tea and coffee and that, because you couldn't. There was not enough room to cook with the vestibule, in the vestibule with it closed. How many times can I get the word vestibule in one episode? Count them. Which is why I like the vestibules, because I like to have that option when it rains or you've got to be inside. Fine, you know, I'll just cook in there. I don't like bringing it into the tent because it's dangerous. More so, you know. And you can knock your coffee over and spill it everywhere. And if you knock it over out in the vestibule, it just goes on the grass. So they're to me they're really important, because you don't have to put a shelter up. You can do, the tent is all you need, regardless of the weather you're getting. So yeah, I like vestibules, and I say it a lot because vestibules. So that's a kind of a downside for me. So I think maybe the summer, when it's not such a biggie, because I like to try and be outside as much as I can. That's why I'm here. So yeah, if you're not expecting to use it in the summer, for example, because it's obviously nicer weather, it might be a good one. But in the winter, when you're going to be inside more often, I don't know. It's one of those things where I want to really like it, but there's some issues that make me go But and there's some good things about it as well. I love how fast you put it up and stuff. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the tent, and I'm not sure when I put it up the first time whether I actually went through it properly, because as I say, I just put it up and went inside and talked about the inside because I was inside all the time. Anyway, better get the rest of my stuff in there. I haven't done 360 for a while. I'm going to quickly do that now. It's a little bit not the way I'd normally do it, because I normally set up and then 360, but the light is fading, so I'm having to do it now. So it's today's 360. Yeah, so that's today's 360. Just I usually do that. I haven't done it for a while because I keep forgetting or haven't had time or whatever, but just give you that, give you a little taster of the environment I'm in, so you feel a bit more with me, hopefully. Just got in, organised everything. That's my coat and the rucksack. I've got my table up with all my bits and bobs under it, and that creates storage underneath. Put all my some bits and bobs under there. Shoes in the corner on my mat. I never leave my shoes in outside or in the vestibule because all sorts of creepy crawlies can get in them. But they're quite happy here on the sit mat. And then I haven't blown the bed up yet. I'm going to do that later. But this is the bedside. Got my little candle going. That's it. And there's still loads of room. So, you know, it's not bad. Still loads of room. I like to bring the table in. Not only does that help neaten stuff up, because you've got you've got a shelf, and then you can pack it all underneath nice and neatly as well. But it also is, if we're in having a lack of vestibule, if you can't cook in the vestibule, it gives more of a stable surface to cook on. I say cook, I don't cook. Heat stuff up, which I'm going to do in a minute because I'm a bit hungry. Today I always bring breakfast, but I don't know about you guys, but when I wake up in the morning, I really don't feel hungry for a good couple of hours after I'm awake. I usually have a coffee, but I don't really feel that hungry. But I always bring breakfast just in case. Today it's beans and sausages. Sometimes I do eat it. It's kind of rare, if I'm honest. And for dinner, I just grabbed the nearest can that was in there. I've got in my car camp, I've got a bunch of shelving, and I just filled it up with food, so I just grabbed something from there, and it's meatballs and gravy. That's my dinner. I'll have rice with it. I always put rice with everything. I always bring boiling the bag rice and chuck it with whatever I've got. Doesn't matter what it is. Rice, it's always rice and something. So that's my dinner for later. I didn't get much time outside, which is a shame. And that's why I come here. But never mind. I've got a review that I haven't put on yet about this light, because my other GoPro light, I don't think I've mentioned this, I'm not sure, but my GoPro light had a white bit of rubber over the top, so that the LEDs weren't in your face, they were just sort of spreading the light better. And that rubber thing, I lost it here actually. I've retraced my steps when I come here today. I couldn't find it, but it's a tiny little rubber thing, and I was never 100% happy with the light anyway. It had some issues that weren't great, but I couldn't use it without that little sheath, and I couldn't find one online. I couldn't find any spares. GoPro don't do any spares. How bizarre is that? Got to buy the whole light to get one again. So I just bought a cheaper one for 20 quid, and it ends up being, it's a bit bigger, bit heavier, but that's not massive big deal. But it's better in every other sense. So I think it was like 60-70 pound off of GoPro for their light, and 20 pound for this, and I prefer it's a much better light. So I'll put the review up later. I don't think I reviewed it, but I don't think I've put it up yet. But it's much better, and it gives off a lot more light than the GoPro one. It's like lighting up the whole tent. It's much better, much better. So got me meatballs and rice. I don't know where I haven't got a stand, so I can't let go of the camera. So that's din dins tonight. Tasty. Well, I think it is. Good morning. I forgot to say goodnight last night. I did I was gonna say my usual thing. It's not something I do all the time, but I have done it in the past where I've just been sat watching Netflix. Well, sat lying down watching Netflix, and then the next thing I know, I've gone. And I woke up at something like 1 in the morning, and I brushed my teeth and went back to sleep. So I didn't say goodnight, but I'm saying good morning. There's nothing really to show you this morning. It's pitch black outside because I've got to get up early to pack up and go and take my daughter to school. So there's nothing really to show you this morning. I'll be packing up and leaving while it's still dark. That's the thing about winter being on its way. It gets darker earlier and stays darker longer, so that means I've got to start sort of leaving earlier, really, because I didn't really get much time outside in the forest before it got dark, which is a bit of a shame, because that's partly the reason I do this. But anyway, it is what it is, and it was a good camp again. I enjoyed it. I slept really well. I slept for about 8 hours, I think. By the time I nodded off, at least 8 hours. I was really comfortable. This sleeping pad, the Rab Stratosphere sleeping pad, is amazing. It's so comfortable. Yeah, so that's it. So if you got this far, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one.